I got back from Kuching late last night, so I'm a little bit tired. But I had this really interesting experience while I was driving back in a Grab, and I really wanted to share that experience with you while it's still fresh. This video isn't about which city is better. This video is just me sharing my experience, what each city brings to me and how they differ for me. It's more me just thinking out loud and sharing my experience, because I've been living here in Malaysia for now 5 months, and predominantly it's been in KL. I visited Malacca last weekend actually, and then I just spent the last 5 days in Kuching and want to share that experience with you, because the different places bring me different things. So KL is very different to Kuching, and you know, me going to Kuching was a little bit different. It was more of an experience where KL feels like home to me, which is interesting. And like I said, I didn't really notice that until last night, because when I went to Kuching, I got invited by my friend Nigel, which he took care of the whole experience, which was absolutely phenomenal. So it was a very different experience to my everyday living here in KL. Like, I sold everything in Australia, moved here, so I've been on a really tight budget, so I haven't been able to like experience a lot of the higher, like the more lavish kind of life. So obviously that was a whole new experience for me, and it was very novel. We got to go to the National Lodge School, which is very prestigious school in Kuching. That's where he went. I got to meet some of the students. I got to meet some of the parents of the students. Also, he took me to like the Borneo National Museum, I think. It's like the largest museum in Southeast Asia, and I got to experience that. We went to a crocodile farm. I got to see the crocs being fed. Look at that. There's so much here. Here we go. Let's go on the Royal Kuching Cruise. You got the Sarawak Club Kuching. So for me, it's not just the experiences themselves, but someone took care of all of that for me, because financial stress has been a huge part of me living in KL. So to go to Kuching and not experience that financial stress, where I could just enjoy myself and just say yes, was completely different and something I'm not used to. And that's why Kuching was very different in that sense, because it was completely out of the ordinary. It wasn't something of the normal. So I really enjoyed it. The town itself was really nice. What I liked about Kuching was like the roads are wider, it's much quieter, much more peaceful. The energy is a little bit different there. You got the river there. Like, I really enjoyed that. It was a little bit cooler there. And I really enjoyed the aesthetics of the city. Like, the restaurants are really cool and vibrant, and it's got its own unique vibe. And then there's so much street art there. And I really like that about the city. And also, I like the food there. So I got to try the kolami, the Sarawak laksa, and a few other local dishes. I can't remember the names, but I'll see if I can list some of the names of the different foods. So I really got to experience the different types of foods. And in saying all of that and how much I enjoyed Kuching, still KL is very different for me. This is kind of like my home. This is where I have my routines, my structures, my rhythm. And it's not even just that. There's just something, I don't know, about the energy. It's difficult to describe. As I said, as I was driving in the Grab last night, you know, after spending 5 days in Kuching, as I was just driving at night, I just felt like, like this is where I need to be. This is, I don't know, where my heart resides or whatever that is. Like, I don't know how, it's so difficult to put in words. Excuse me. It's so difficult to put into words. So much more diversity in KL, and I think I really enjoyed that. I think it kind of reminds me of maybe Melbourne, of where I'm from. I think in places like Malacca, because I went to Malacca as well, which I also really enjoyed and I found very interesting. I like the food, I like the quieter pace of life, but at the same time, I feel there's not enough range. Where I feel KL, for me, it has those quieter places, it has the local food, but it also has the city, the hustle, the bustle, the different type of people that live here, the integration of all of them, I feel make KL really special for me. And honestly, I think Kuching really reminded me of how lucky I am as well to have these amazing experiences, to have someone like Nigel invite me, to treat me to such an amazing experience, to connect me to his network, to introduce me to people, to show me around, to welcome me to his home, to meet his, family and his friends. I don't take that for granted, and I feel really grateful for these experiences, to be able to do these kind of things and to have people like Nigel in my life. And at the same time, I know this is, like, for me, KL is where I need to be. A place like Kuching, I can see why it's rated one of the most popular places to retire. It's much quieter, it's much more relaxed. If you have kids, they have great schools there. So there's a lot of great things about Kuching, and I can see why. Like I said, people want to live there and retire. But at the same time, for where I am at the moment, I really feel like KL is home for me. And again, this is not about choosing one or the other. Kuching, Malacca, these places have their own beauty, their own interesting things to go on. And that's what I love about Malaysia in general, is that I can live in a hub like KL, and a 2-hour flight, I can go and experience Kuching, or I can drive 2-3 hours and go to Malacca, then a visa run and went to Thailand. But for me, every time I come back to KL from wherever I am, this is where I feel most at home. So yeah, that's kind of my reflection of where I'm at and what's kind of moving and what's alive between these different places that I got to experience. And if you like this kind of content where I share my journey, I show Malaysia, different parts of Malaysia, my experiences, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.